Hello, beauties. It's Stephanie from Empowered Roots. I did not actually intend to make this video today. I came out to this space to try to work through some creative blocks I'm having. Um, However, once I got out here, something else was coming through. So we'll see where that goes. There is some like really intense chaotic transformational energy out here today. I feel it really strongly in my solar plexus. So if you found this, there's a reason for it. So you might tune in the solar plexus and see what's going on, like what you sense there, what you feel there. Um, it's a bit chaotic and super fiery kind of energy, which is beautifully transformational, and can be also a bit volatile. So it's important to kind of pay attention because if it's not channeled in the right way, it can actually be quite destructive. Um, there's been so many synchronicities this morning. Like I said, I've been trying to work through some creative blocks and things in my life right now. Um, and figuring out what is beneath that. And what I am noticing is that the collective and many other people are also experiencing similar things, especially those who are going through a lot of transitions or spiritual awakenings, creative awakenings, things like that, which is a large part of the work I do. And sometimes what I'm sensing is actually calling me to offer some wisdom or channel something in a way that might benefit you, or just bring some encouragement or support on your journey wherever you're at. Um, hmm. So today, a lot of fiery energy, and then I'm sitting here and all of these male cardinals that, bright red, they're flying over, and I'm like, oh yes, so much, which that fiery energy is also the energy of the masculine within us all, regardless of gender. It is quite intense, quite transformational, um, and it's also it calls us to action. But when we have some blocks there, which I think maybe you do, maybe many of us do. I know that's something I've been working through. It feels really intense in the solar plexus. Um, and what that is that there is a sense of powerlessness that usually comes from some fear or old woundings. It's usually not even something that's going on necessarily right now. It can be, but it's really triggered by something from the past. Um, So what's coming up, transformationally speaking, is that we're needing to really unblock ourselves. I actually was sitting here and getting ready to do something else, and then I was looking up at this huge tree that's in front of me, this huge oak tree. It's where I come to really connect. She is a guide for me. Um, I was looking up at this tree, and I kept like feeling this energy of hesitation. And as I closed my eyes, all I heard was, "What are you waiting for? Open the door." And I was like, "What?" Oh, that completely makes sense. Nothing else is blocking me. I'm blocking myself. So then we have to ask ourselves, how are we blocking ourselves? What's coming up for me, and what comes up for a lot of us, especially creatives and those who are kind of outside the box, who aren't really rule followers or do their own thing, creatives particularly, is perfectionism, because a lot of what we're doing or sharing or wanting to create or do or become or live in the world, um, it's really soul driven, like soul and heart driven. So it's like our soul child, or the things we want to create are really, really important to us. They're not just like jobs or um, things like that. They're quite soul driven. And so with that, there's this fear that comes up of like sharing our gifts or our work or who we are, or our messages or our teachings or whatever it is that you do, that might just, be beautifully unique to you, your own gifts, the things that you're meant to offer into the world. Fear comes up. Let me tell you, it's natural. What's really important is that we acknowledge it's there, because it's there for a reason. It's actually fear is a triggering of something old, and it can't tell the difference between actual danger and like emotional or mental danger or feelings of danger. So it kicks in this fear response, this survival response that tells us like, no, no, don't do that. No, don't go in that direction. So we got to sit with it. And, I was actually having a conversation with fear just a minute ago. And basically just talking to myself, inner child, inner self, you're safe. There's nothing to fear. This is old stuff coming up. Just stop with all the like self-criticism, self-doubt, perfectionism. You have the key. Open your own door. What are you waiting for? And I was like, oh, okay. So it felt almost like this this amazingly like fierce mother, like, girl, stop doing that. Stop it. Just do it. Just be you. And maybe that's why I'm coming to you, because I'm feeling that. You. Just be you. Stop blocking yourself. And I know how that feels. So in this moment, what I'm really being called to share and kind of channel through is asking yourself, how are you blocking what is meant for you? How are you blocking yourself from creating the things that you actually want? And this comes down to playing small, fitting ourselves into boxes that we probably don't belong in, but maybe they're safe and familiar. Being afraid to be fully seen and heard, and sharing who we are fully with the world, because, we're all afraid of that rejection, criticism, things like that to some extent. I've become less afraid of that from the external world, and it's more my own inner self-criticisms, because I have that tendency towards perfectionism. But we really just have to remind ourselves, like, man, and I'm so reminded here in nature as I sit here and I look around, everything is so unique and beautiful and bizarre in many ways. If we really think about it, like, nature's creations are quite bizarre. They're unique. They just do their own thing, but they all have something that they are meant to be, to offer as part of the whole, and the synergy of the earth. As you see, I'm holding, I also found, it caught my eye, and it's so, we have like natural stone all over in this area, and it looks almost like citrine. It's not, but it caught my eye because you probably can't see it. It's like so sparkly. It's beautiful. Or some type of, I don't know, I need to look it up. Or you guys could let me know if you know what it is. But at any rate, it was just sparkling beautifully, amber and yellow in the sun, which was like such a synchronicity, because this is all solar plexus energy. This is fire energy. This is the sun. This is a masculine energy. And I could definitely feel it. And that's actually why I'm holding it. But I also had to really ground that energy, which maybe is something that you guys are needing to do as well, because when we're feeling that in the solar plexus, there's a block there, which a lot of times comes from that sense of powerlessness, or not feeling worthy enough, or just a lot of fears about fully embodying our own creative power. And it kind of blocks. It's usually also there's a block in the heart, which is usually old grief or rejection, abandonment, things like that. Grief is a huge one, just kind of the way that we maybe have betrayed ourselves or maybe experienced those things from other people because we just weren't being true to who we are. And this is an opportunity to kind of clean that up if we want to. So we just got to let it go, which we can do with some really deep breath work also. I was really grounding the energy though, because that fire energy is like it's an expansive transformational energy, but it also needs to be grounded. So then it becomes more slow moving. Earth and fire, think lava, right? It still has that deeply fiery energy that actually has the potential to create new earth, to create new things. Um, But we got to slow it down a little bit, so it doesn't feel and become so volatile, where it becomes hasty or like destructive in some way. So it has to be grounded a little bit, with a reconnection with grounding practices or being in nature, the earth, connecting to the earth elements to help support ourselves. So that's caring for the physical body, physical needs, and just grounding into the earth to kind of bring some of that fire energy down a little bit, because it can be actually feel overwhelming. It can feel a lot like anxiety sometimes, or something quite chaotic. And sometimes it makes us react in anger or rage or things like that. So we have to be mindful of that. But what it is doing is it's asking you to channel that energy, because those are all even those feelings that kind of feel like anger, they're actually quite helpful, because when we're angry, there's an opportunity to look within and ask ourselves, why am I angry? Is there something that's violating my values? Is there something that's violating my boundaries? Am I betraying myself in some way? Because that's also important. And part of self-forgiveness, which is so important, is also making amends, which takes action. So what are we doing that is helping support embodying our own power creatively, or however that means to you, in our relationships, in our lives, and what we create, who we are, how we authentically and with integrity show up in the world. Power, y'all. I'm looking at these birds. They're so beautiful. So beautiful. So it's really looking at that. That's what that anger, and that anger actually, once we identify it, where are we playing small in our lives? Where are we holding ourselves back? Where are we not doing the things that we really want to do, are important to us because we're afraid? Once we feel into that anger, it can be consciously, once we are aware of it and conscious of it, it can be consciously channeled and directed into creativity. So that's the taking actions of the things that we actually want, channeled into creative endeavors, or creating positive change in our life, which is transformation, in whatever area that is for you, if it's health or wealth or creative projects or work or relationships. Whatever that is for you, there's an immense opportunity for transformation and creative change, which is really empowered choice making, which is the thing. Empowered choice making. What that means is it's looking at what you actually desire, what you want more of in your life. And the empowered choice making is, are my beliefs, are the choices I'm making, are the things I'm saying, are the things that I'm doing, are they in alignment with what I actually desire to create? Are they moving me in that direction? And if they're not, that's where that transformation, the opportunity for empowered choice making comes up, because that's how we embrace our own empowerment, our own self-love, is the acceptance of what is, and then saying, okay, now what? Am I in alignment? Do I need to make some adjustments? Do I need to transform some parts of my life? Do I need to take more action? Or maybe do I need to step back and be still and receptive and listen? Listen for guidance, listen for the answers, listen for synchronicities, because that's also part of manifestation. You can't constantly be taking action. One, you get burnout, and then you're not really, that's not manifestation, that's something else. There's pieces to that. It's the awareness, the consciousness, the stillness, the wisdom that comes in stillness when we ask the questions. What do I actually want? Is my life in alignment right now? It's taking an assessment of our lives and what we're creating and what we'd like to create, and then saying, okay, if we can identify what we want to create more of in our lives, how we want to feel more empowered. It's really about, it's always about feeling. How do you want to feel in your life? And if the things that you're doing are not in alignment with that, if they're not doing that, something's got to change. Something's got to transform. If we're engaging in activities, relationships, situations that are not honoring who we actually are, when they feel draining and heavy, and man, our life just feels like uninspired and shitty, something's not right, y'all. We got to get it right. Which means the stillness of asking the questions. And then we start to get that guidance from our higher selves or universe, nature, God, however you may identify. Then in that slowness and that stillness, we wait as we start to receive guidance, synchronicities. Something in this video might actually be a synchronicity for you. I hope it is. If you're still here, it might be. And then once we start to be drawn in that direction, then we can take the actions. And then after the actions have been taken, to release whatever that is, whatever the outcome's going to be, not stay attached to it. You need to surrender it. That's manifestation, because I struggle with that so much, and most people do. They miss the surrendering part. Once you take the actions, you got to release the outcome. You got to release it so that the universe, can do its thing. Everything is energy, so that's what it's about. But if something in this video is resonating with you and you're still here, there's something to that. I'd love to know what that was if you want to comment, or offer your own guidance. But if you're still here, there's something to that. There's something that is calling you in your life to transform and grow and create and become more authentically you, to create the things that you actually want to become who you want to be, because you have that choice. And it begins right now, in this moment, how you're choosing to feel the things that you are putting your time and energy into. That's what creates the future, is right now. That's all you have. Past is gone. We can learn our lessons from it, but it's gone. Future is not here yet. It's a place that doesn't exist. Our future is created by right now. How we're feeling, what we're doing, our intentions, our actions. Are they in alignment with that future that we can envision? So I hope something in this was helpful for you. Man, transformation is everything. Yeah. So if you want to check out any more of my videos, you can. If you want to go to my website, the link will be below, and you can check out like channeled writings, reflections. You can check out some of my services that I offer to help support these processes. And of course, like and subscribe if this resonates with you. I love you. Have a beautiful day. Embrace that transformation and who you powerfully and creatively are. I love you. See you later.